Welcome to Module 3 of the RGA Gateway Conference Solution video tutorial. This video covers the RGA Blades Administrative Web GUI. You'll go to the IP address that was defined or provided by this network administrator and enter the username and password, which is admin at default. If the IP address has not been changed, the default address is 192.168.0.225. From there, you will go to Router Settings, Administrator Functions, Maintenance Settings. And here you can change the username and password. You can also enable remote access for the web admin and conference admin GUIs. The router function port can be changed here. The conference port is shown as read-only and is changed later in the presentation. It is recommended that the Allow Remote Configuration and Allow Conference Remote Web Access be enabled. Next, we're going to go to Router Settings, Administration Functions, Time Services. This is where you set the time zone and the source for the clock synchronization. To use the timing of the SV8100, uncheck the Enabled Network Timer Server box. If that box is checked, the RGA will use the time server that is referenced by either IP address or domain name. In this example, pool.ntp.org. No matter which source is used, the appropriate time zone should be set. If set to contact an internet server, the NTP server test icon can be used to check connectivity to the server. Next, go to Router Settings, Administration Functions, RGA Reset. This provides utilities for restarting the router, rebooting the RGA blade, shutting down the RGA blade, and returning the RGA blade configuration database to default. Restart the RGA router, stops and then restarts the RGA router and other applications. Reboot the RGA blade, stops and restarts the entire RGA blade. This includes all applications and the operating system. Shut down the RGA blade, shuts down the RGA blade. You might want to do this prior to removing the blade. To restart the RGA blade after shutting it down, do one of the following. Turn the cabinet power off and then back on. Press the reset switch on the RGA blade for at least 3 seconds. Remove the RGA blade and reinsert it. Set the RGA blade to default sets all the RGA database options back to their default values. This also restarts the RGA application. Consider using Administrator Functions, Database Backup/Restore to make a copy of the current database before defaulting it. Next, go to Router Settings, Administrator Functions, Software Update. This page is used to update the base RGA firmware. It is recommended that you check for new software even on a new blade to make sure you have the latest firmware available. There are several ways to apply new software. If the RGA has LAN access to the internet, the system can be set to automatically check for software every night. Manually check for software by clicking the Check Now icon. If the software is downloaded to the support PC, can click on the Browse icon to locate the file on the support PC. Once the file is selected, it will automatically upload to the RGA. After the upload is finished, click on the Update button to apply the new software and reboot the RGA blade. Go to Application Settings, Conference Bridge, System Settings. This page will show the current RGA conference software version and number of port licenses it received from the system. This is a read-only field. The dial-in number is used when sending conference invitations and should be changed for each install. The time zone is read-only. If needed, the web server port can be changed from the default 8008. This setting is shown as read-only under Router Settings, Administrator Functions, Maintenance Settings. Continuing on to Application Settings, Conference Bridge, System Settings, this page is used to set the following functions: default the conference database, upload a database to restore, and upgrade the RGA conference application software. It is recommended that you check for new software even on a new blade. When upgrading, once the file is selected, it will automatically upload to the RGA. After the upload is finished, click on the Restart icon to apply the new software and reboot the RGA blade. Next, go to Application Settings, Conference Bridge, Voice and Audio Settings. This page at default will usually not require many changes. If you have extension numbers that are longer than 4 digits, you will need to change the internal extension length. Internal extension length is used to determine if a call is internal or external. Referring to the example, if the dial digits are more than 5 digits, it is considered an external call. The automatic gain control works well and it is recommended to be left enabled. If the volume needs to be adjusted, use the AGC target volume settings. Next, go to Application Settings, Conference Bridge, Roles and Privileges. The screen to the right shows the recommended settings for conference user roles and privileges. These settings are used as a template for moderator rights when creating a new moderator in the RGA Conference Web GUI. They can be changed per moderator later if needed. The roles privileges settings are described below.